Hi, this is Bob Samuels, founder of TechConnectr. TechConnectr is a marketplace and campaign management platform of best-of-breed, account-based marketing lead generation solutions. In association with the Serious Decisions Summit, we are happy to bring you wisdom from leading account-based marketing thought leaders. To that end, I'm delighted to present one of my favorite people in our B2B account-based marketing and lead generation space, James Miller from DWA Media. James, it's always a pleasure to speak with you. How are you today?
Bob, I'm fantastic. How about yourself?
It's a beautiful day. I'm doing great. I'm outside in sunny Palo Alto, enjoying the day. It's wonderful.
Lucky man.
Lucky man. So I get to talk with one of my favorite people in our industry and to talk about one of my favorite topics, account-based marketing. So, you've been around long enough to know that account-based marketing it's a new topic, but it's an old philosophy. It's named accounts. It's target accounts. If you can give a little bit of a background about where you've been in the last several years and what's been your relationship with ABM, maybe that's a good start.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in the B2B media marketing and publishing space for the last 25 years. I was really formally, as Bob said, ABM has been around for decades, but I've been really exposed to it probably around years ago, Bright Talk, and doing some work for Demand Base. And then in 2013, I moved over to DWA, which is a global B2B media marketing agency, who had a formal partnership with Demand Base. So I've been in the official ABM field for 7 or so years. In fact, myself and colleagues of my DBA were the first agencies to be certified by Demand Base back in 2016. So really proud of that.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. I remember when that was happening. So that's a great tool. So what are some of the cool things you've seen over the years that people have done with ABM, and maybe what are some of the misconceptions that you've seen too?
Yeah, I think there'll be plenty of people talking about the tools and how they're working. I think what I'd like to share with your audience is ABM is not a tool. It's not a platform. It's not a campaign. It's an overall a go-to-market philosophy. And so what you need to really make it effective is a go-to-market strategy. And I think many clients jump right to a tool or a partner and try to execute, and they miss getting buy-in from the organization. They miss looking at ABM holistically, and either the ABM initiative falls flat or never really reaches its full potential. So I think that we should be cautious about our quote-unquote ABM programs, and be very thoughtful about our ABM strategies.
That makes sense, and that's well said, and I'm glad you mentioned that. So, if that's one thing that I'm hearing is that if you just jump right into it and go, okay, I'm going to do this ABM thing or go buy this software, that's going to change my world. They're going to be disappointed.
Yeah. Exactly right, and with any marketer, and I'm sure sales teams are involved and finance teams are involved. If anyone's making a bet on ABM, I wouldn't bet on one partner or one tactic. I would really try to get, as I said, that institutional buy-in across all the grids, particularly sales and finance. Those will be your best partners, and then elevate that to the executive branch and show them why you're doing it. What will change, right? So, if you are a traditional pray and spray demand gen marketer, and you're used to getting 1,000 leads a month across a wide variety of accounts, you might only get 100 leads this month across your top 1,000. Is it worth that? Is the organization ready for that kind of change? You can't have a bunch of BDMs running around screaming, "Where are my leads?" If they haven't been brought into the overall philosophy of what you're trying to achieve.
That makes sense. So you need to have the buy-in across the company. especially sales and accounting, maybe IT, and you have to really think about the whole process. So, how have you seen where? And I guess you need to figure out who's your target audience, or who your target ABM list is, and the
Yeah, I mean, I think
persona.
that's yeah, exactly. I mean, we at DWA, which is part of the Merkle, it's part of the Merkle Group, which is part of the NCUA network. So we ladder up to one of the top 5 holding companies, and we think about it. We, we think about you building your list in a multitude of ways. So, one, obviously work with your sales team and know who the top accounts that they want to go after. Um, Obviously, try to build big look-alike models. But I think the secret sauce is really around intent, and so which accounts have intent for your product and or solution. So let's say that you've got 1,000 accounts that the sales team want to go after, but you have another 10,000 that could fit as a customer. Think of a Venn diagram where is the overlap between the 1,000 your team wants to go after, the 10,000 that are available in the marketplace, and then the ones within both those sets that have the intent in this quarter or this year to buy your solution or service.
That makes sense. So a lot of work on, and then the other thing that I find is a very tricky thing is content, or finding the right messaging to, and also drawing the line between doing one-to-one very specific messaging to one-to-many, and where you draw the line, because you want to give the best relevance to everybody reach out to, but you can only.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, I would sort of, I mean, simple is always the best way, I think, to get started. So if you go one to many, it might be verticalizing it. So there are 5 verticals you're going after. You make sure your landing pages have case studies and have the relevant language to that vertical. It's healthcare or transportation or media, or that might be. And that's your kind of maybe your one to many strategy with content, both on landing pages as well as deeper content like white papers and videos, etc. And then one to few, that might be, now you've gone from healthcare, but now you're going after just hospitals, in this case. So then how can you tailor that a little bit more? It might be a bit more challenging on the page, but you can build, content 80% relevant to that sector, hospitals, but can be topped and tailed by the reps or through your CMS for particular types of hospitals or individual hospitals. And then the one-to-one, I think marketing is there to give guidance, but that really becomes a sales enablement initiative, where the BDM or the account lead can actually tailor it to the individuals within the account, not just the personas within the industry, and talk to Joe or Mary or Frank about what their challenges might be across the decision-making unit.
Yep. And different messaging to the different personas or the different members of the
Absolutely, as you said,
client.
right. There's a one message for a core message is, we have solutions that can help your hospital, right, your company, but what the IT folks need versus the accounting team needs versus the marketing team needs could be very, very different. They're doing it for different reasons, even though it's the same. And that's where I think it's hard to do those things at scale. It's really about giving the sales and sales enablement team some parameters and guidance, and really let the sales team do what they do best, is make those one-to-one connections.
That makes sense. So what are some examples you've seen of where companies have done it right? What kind of results have they?
I mean, I think that we work with DXC, which used to be which is a merger of CSC and HP Services, and so the team at DXC has been doing this for many years. They're an award-winning team. We're so thrilled to have them as a client for the last 7 or 8 years, and I think they're just world class at general ABM. Leveraging digital. Leveraging omni-channel, as well as they do these amazing pursuit campaigns, which could be, there could be an RP out there for um, technology consulting solutions for MetLife, and that could be $100 million project. And so we've done things where we surround that decision-making unit at MetLife for with content that's very relevant to the pitch, location-based, and going to the key decision makers, which could be the critical factor as they're shortlisted, moving to the next stage for a pitch. So I think DXC does the best, going from your, I wouldn't want to call you standard, but your standard, well-known trodden path of ABM, all the way down to very specific campaigns per sales opportunity and everything in between. And we really look to them to be thought leaders, and we always are looking to support them throughout their journey on ABM excellence.
And I suspect that the tricky part, and maybe the longest part, is the upfront planning and strategizing.
Mm-hmm.
May not be as exciting.
I think it's well, we find that exciting. That's what we've got teams of strategists here to do. So we think that's essential. I think every phase has its own challenges and rewards. So I wouldn't want to bucket it as one's better than the other. It's, as I said earlier, it's really looking at the holistic piece of what you're trying to achieve, the ABM program. What's your overall strategy, and do you have buy-in and the will for change management?
So what are some of the cool technologies that you've seen along the way?
Again, I don't want to get into individual technologies. We work with lots of different partners. I think that's a well-trodden path, and there's I would always just someone, Scott Vaughn, who was at 6-7 years ago, and he relayed a story to me when he was at CMP, and he was looking to evaluate vendors and partners to help him accelerate his platforms. And so he went through a process of just thinking, how is this the same different I already have? How is it any better than what I already have? How can I integrate this into my current stack? And again, I think marketers today are under so much pressure to chase the next shiny object. But if you're not thoughtfully asking some of the key questions of, is this going to integrate with my overall MarTech ad tech stack, or is it just another outlying technology that I've got to have another dashboard for, another report for, another rep for? It's going to be a waste of time and get siloed and not be built into what you're trying to achieve, which is single view of the customer, and personalized experiences and real, true, valued engagement through marketing and advertising. So I think it's that's what we have to be considerate of, is not looking at one technology or one vendor, but thinking through who you're choosing and why you choose them, and are they going to be additive to your platform or to your strategy.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I'm hearing loud and clear, is that too many companies are putting too much into figuring that if they buy this technology, then all of a sudden their problems will be solved, and
exactly
solution, and that they're going to be disappointed, and they're going to blame the vendor, which is not fair. But that's a different matter.
Exactly.
So no silver bullet. That's unfortunate.
No silver. But I think that I want to close on innovation, and at DWA and We are very data driven. We have a strong heritage and foundation in ad tech and martech, and then DWA is really the activation layer, the addressable advertising side of it. So for account-based marketing, um, we think of account-based marketing as a subset of people-based marketing. And what I mean by that is we're targeting individual people, so humans, and not proxies. I don't need to target your device ID. I need to target you, Bob, right? And so I need to find you wherever you are and serve you relevant content. So ABM is one subset of an overall people-based marketing strategy. And so in that case, you really need, the brand expression. What we mean by that is content and creative and positioning has to align with the data, first party, third party data, as well as the technology to automate as much as possible. So we see clients should be thinking about how to put the people at the heart of their ABM strategy, not just the account, right? We move beyond just targeting an account with display advertising. We target those individuals on a personal level. Um, and the thing that I am most excited by are a lot of the innovations that are coming out in the performance media platforms. So whether it's Google or Facebook, um, where you're able to target individual people, and you're able to do that within ABM campaigns. And so I think that for us, we are, I think, really cutting edge with regard to paid search and leveraging paid search for people-based and account-based marketing. And we're seeing that really resonate with clients because it makes their dollars much more effective across the full funnel. And not just in the awareness phase or consideration phase, but up and down the funnel.
Makes sense. So, and that brings up a good point. So, if you can bring out your crystal ball, how do you think things are changing? What are we going to be talking about in a year from now? What are we talk about in 5 years from now, as far as
that's
talk about ABM? We'll be still be talking about it.
Yeah. Well, I think we will be talking about it. 5 years is, as we all know, is far, in my mind, far too long to make some predictions in the marketing tech space. But I would start looking at what are the new innovations that are coming out on the back of 5G. 5G is a game changer. And we're seeing clients like Intel and AWS and other large Cisco is really innovating around that technology. And I don't think we've touched the surface of what that's going to do for marketing with the always on buyer, the always on buyer access to information at their fingertips at a much faster rate than ever before. So I think that while ABM will fit in as part of that. I really consider 5G is going to be a game changer for marketing. Imagine all the data you'll be getting out of your systems, right? So I was looking at one of our clients, and they sell sensors. Now this is in the world of IoT. Now imagine that your server has an alert that says it needs to be upgraded, right? And it sends that back to the home office. I'll make this very simple as example, and now that you're not getting a intent signal just from Memphora. They're actually searching on some white papers that are relevant to your solution. They're actually getting an alert from your product, right? And your product is telling you that needs to be replaced in the next 6 months. Well, isn't that an account you want to call on right away? Um, so you have to start thinking about this always on world with 5G connectivity, all the sensors within all these product solutions that you're selling. And do you have a strategy that will allow your product to tell your customer what it needs? So you can inform your sales team and your marketing organization to make the client happier. That's my
And
crystal
so
ball.
I think what I heard in there was there's going to be more signals, both
Yes.
from what people do and what their things do,
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
tools and their and then also there's lots of different ways, a lot more different ways you can communicate with them. And I think did you also say your product can be talking to the client as well?
Yeah. I mean, at a consumer level, your refrigerator is going to be saying, "Hey, you need more milk."
Yeah.
Well, why can't your data center tell you need more storage? I mean, I can't see it's that much different. And those signals will go back to both the customer as well as the manufacturer. And so, us as brands, as manufacturers, at the highest level, need to be thinking of how do we incorporate that data stream, that, as you said so well about that signal, into our sales and marketing strategy.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, I that's why I threw out 1 year and 5 years, because 5 years is whatever that is. I don't think I can conceive of it yet. It doesn't
Yeah,
exist.
I certainly can't.
And even 1 year, I don't know. So this is great, Jade. So any final thoughts or wisdom that you can share?
Well, I just want to thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I've always considered you personally and the companies you worked with and work for leaders in the B2B marketing space. In this case, ABM. So keep doing what you're doing. You make a big difference in the marketplace, and I'm grateful for your support.
Thank you, James. It's a pleasure, and it's great to speak with you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, all the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Cheers.